So if I know the rules of Magic the Gathering so well, why is it that I haven't chosen to become a judge yet? Now, most people's perception of a judge is that they're just a person that knows the rules really well, but they do a lot more than that. Judges not only need to have a firm understanding of the rules, but they also need to have a firm understanding of policies and how to handle infractions. They need to know how to handle things at a live event. That's kind of like a big job of the judges. Now, back then, when I first had the idea of becoming a judge, I was working 60 to 70 hours a week, so I didn't have a ton of time. And the time that I did have to play with Magic the Gathering, I wanted to actually play the game and not be judging at event. But since I was mostly playing casually because that was the format that was most accessible to me, I didn't really care about tournament policies or how to handle any infractions that would come up during a game. Now, back then, it was Judge Academy that handled the system in place to make new judges. And to become a new judge, you had to take a test, and then when you're finished with all that, you had to pay a fee. So to me, at that time, it didn't really make sense to learn and study all this policy stuff when I don't really even have time to go to events to judge them because I'm working all the time. Essentially, I would just be paying for a title that I didn't really use. But I will also mention that I have taken the judge test a few times and I failed it. Actually, me understanding the rules pretty deep as I do now is kind of more of a recent thing than it was back then. There was one more option, which was become a rules advisor, which is a step below a judge, and I believe there was no fees associated with becoming a rules advisor. And the main difference between a rules advisor and a judge is that a judge has the actual authority to enact any policies or procedures at an event. But I think a rules advisor would still run into the same problem that a normal person would when handling disputes, which is that nobody really knew what a rules advisor was, so they still wanted to hear from a judge. So I also didn't find it necessary to become a rules advisor. Now flash forward to when I did inevitably quit that job and I do have more time, and the rules are something that is kind of like my thing now. Only now Judge Academy is no longer a thing, and I believe to become a judge you go through Judge Foundry, but this is also going away soon. Now sure, I could probably go through the process to become a judge now and then get grandfathered in when Wizards of the Coast takes over with their new judge system, but nothing has changed from the past for me. Policies and procedures are still not really a strength of mine, and I don't really care to learn them that much. I mean, they can be interesting, but I don't really care to learn it. What excites me and what interests me is the interaction between the rules and the cards. And all I really want to do is share that with people, not tell people how you fix these infractions if you got a rule wrong. If I don't care to judge any events or how to handle procedures or policies, then I'm just getting that title just to tell somebody that they can't argue with me. And I'm not saying don't trust judges. A judge saying that they are a judge does give them some credibility that they have some good understanding of the rules. But for the same reason why I would never use my clout to try to correct someone so that they can't argue against me, I think judges kind of understand the same thing. Just because they are a judge doesn't mean they're the end-all be-all of the rules. And the discussions that we have to get to the truth, I think is the important thing in the end, as frustrating as that can be sometimes.